Hey, it's the Studley Man Ashley here, and I'm here to tell you that if you want to get the best news and views on video games at the moment, then you should listen in to Game Up every Saturday night, right here on WGS Radio. We'll take a look at some of the big video gaming news of the week, cover all the stories, whether they be stupid, fun, or downright serious. We'll also take a look back at some of the classic franchises and some of the classic games via reviews and retrospective look-backs. Make sure you're here every week, every Saturday, WGS Radio's Game Up. And if you're not, oh dear.
Hi, I'm Sonic Fanatic from Aurora Shck Media. What's Aurora Shck Media, you ask? Aurora Shck Media is a group of 6 people whose purpose is to give you quality entertainment in the latest and greatest video games, movies, music videos, and programs. We also provide awesome vlogs and crazy stunts. And because there's 6 of us, we're always coming out with something new. For more information about Aurora Shck Media, go to aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. That's aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. And while you're there, check out some of our cool videos.
Aurora Shck Media. It has begun.
Yeah, you're listening to Flip the Wolfman Jackson on WGS Radio and Block Talk Radio. Ow!
Let us turn to the 4th Cryptic promo, also referred to as 2012 Control. Now, this was an interesting promo because it added a new twist to the mix. Now, you may be going, twist? I thought that was a dance. Well, you'd be correct, but it's also very stupid. But anyway, let me just get to the message. I believe it was written down, and oh, brilliant! It's not telling me what the message is. Come on, there we go. Right, this is what was said in the promo, in case you haven't seen the YouTube video, which is still up and getting quite a few views and quite a few comments. We will be taking some of them and putting them on this. It said, as he sat upon the mount, the question arose, when shall things be, in which shall be the sign of my coming? He answered, when she tells us. She holds the mystery of my arrival, of my rebirth. For when I beckon her, I will return to claim what is mine, and things will never be the same again. And the second day of 2012, it will be the end of the world, as we know it, or you know it, or everybody knows it. Well, do they? I don't know. Now, this is obviously discounting some names and possibly strengthening others. It's like a proper whodunit murder mystery. We've ticked some of them off as being innocent, but now there's some who look more guilty. So the question is, who killed Mr. McMahon? Oh no, that was a storyline from 4 years ago. Rick, how are you liking these promos so far? Because I think in my opinion, they've certainly seeming to get more mysterious and stronger as the weeks go on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. When I first saw, the first promo screamed Chris Jericho. There was a hint of The Undertaker, so, I was always thinking maybe it's a Chris Jericho versus The Undertaker feud, because that's something what I really would have liked to have seen, especially as maybe one of Chris Jericho's last match.
Well, apparently,
But however,
according to the rumors, it's going to be, if Chris Jericho, if it is him, which it's widely reported to be, apparently he's going to be going into a feud with CM Punk, which I think would just be as good.
Yeah, but the thing is before that news got leaked, another thing that I was thinking of, believe it or not, as I said before, I really would have liked to have seen maybe a Shane McMahon return. That would have been nice. With Stephanie McMahon being the girl.
Funny you mention that, because quite a few of the comments now, basically, Mr. Cow187 said, now they've mentioned the word control, it leads more to a Stephanie or Shane McMahon coming back thing.
It's streaming it.
The Painstein says Stephanie and Shane bring back the alliance. That's what I think. Just looking at some of the other Shane mentions and everything. Somebody else I think mentioned it was Shane or Stephanie or both. But one that also is a bit interesting, put an hour ago by This That Bob. I think it's Vince and Linda. I honestly don't think it's Linda. She's got a Senate campaign. I don't think she wants anything to do with the wrestling, because that arguably could have been her downfall in the last one, but I think Linda we can take out. It possibly could be Vince, because, I mean, who knows? Chris, what's your thoughts?
Well, I honestly think that it could be Chris Jericho, because just some of the things that he says in there, like "we'll never be the same again," that's something that you always heard from Chris Jericho. And also, you were also wondering who killed Mr. McMahon. I actually have the results right here. They were just handed to me. Turns out, Billy's duck killed Mr. McMahon, and then Ash's antivirus hit Mr. McMahon's body. There you go.
Very nice. I like that. That's actually feasible. Well, there's some...
Ministry wrote in the chat room, Ashley, something for you. Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
I'll get to that in a minute. We will go like that crazy probably for the rest of the show after we've done this. Another name that was brought up here, which I'm thinking is unlikely. I don't know whether this is spelt on purpose wrongly, but what the person, I think the Painstein adds as well, Brock Lesnar. But the problem is, of course, with Lesnar is he has a fight 30th, which is 16 days away.
I don't see Lesnar, not at all.
Just because of one Undertaker promo at the event when he says, "You want to do this." Just because of that, don't think it's that.
No, because when I'm going to be honest with you, when I saw that, I saw it the other way around. I saw it as the Undertaker leaving the WWE and him coming to train him.
or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Undertaker's
tired.
He said in interviews
done.
That's why he wears those gloves now, because he is an MMA fan.
Exactly.
And if it had been, 20 years later, at the age that he was, he probably would have gone into MMA rather than wrestling.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? Think about it. Think about this too. When Undertaker's away from the scene, what has he done? One thing he's done consistently.
Reinvent himself?
No, not really.
Keep away.
I'm talking about he stepped away, and another thing, he shaved his head. Undertaker,
that's an interesting little point, because
he always has long hair.
Kane returned on Raw. I'll get to that when we do the Raw review, because I've got a brilliant little clip. Kane returned, but when I first saw it, obviously with the lighting you couldn't see anything, but obviously he was lacking the tattoos on his arm, like Undertaker has. But when I first saw Kane come down the ramp, because of what he was wearing and everything, I actually thought it was Undertaker. Because it had the same style top that Undertaker has, You know, with like it's like the leotard kind of thing. Same kind of trousers. It's just got like the old Kane crazy stitching over it. And then, of course, you know, when he took off his mask to reveal his mask, which is confusing, yeah. He took off a mask to reveal a mask. The hair, which is obviously stitched onto the mask, kind of looked like Undertaker-style hair.
That's true.
And there was that rumour, of course, that was early on when people saw pictures of Taker bald, are they going to do some kind of weird, stupid role reversal thing? Have Kane as the Undertaker and Undertaker as Kane. But, anyway. Yeah, let's mention the Undertaker, because somebody said here, I don't think it'll be Undertaker and Michelle McCool, but because they've never been together in a WWE storyline. I know that Joe Banny Sensation is on the line with us. Joe, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Yay!
What's your thoughts on that, with the Undertaker and Michelle McCool possibly being the male and female?
I mean, like I said, you know, from when I saw all of the things that I saw, like the cryptic messages and everything else, I always thought, and I'll still say, that it's still Undertaker. I don't know about Michelle McCool. I mean, I don't know about that, but like I said, I still say it's Undertaker, because if you really think about it, like I said, Kane is back, and then Kane and Undertaker together are the Destruction Brothers, or whatever the case might be. So that's what I thought when I saw Kane coming back first, and then after that it would have been Undertaker on the 2nd of 2012.
Yeah, very possibly. Now, one mention, we've already talked about Brock Lesnar, but BShady 07196, I apologise, says that if Brock Lesnar wants to come back, possibly could it be Sable? Billy replied, I don't know if I want to see how bony Sable is now. Because when she came back in, what was it, 2003, 2004? She looked pretty damn thin.
I don't care how bony she is, she can have my bone.
And
then...
she's getting somebody else's bones.
Yeah.
Fine.
Number 17 put a comment on what if it's karma. Well, that's extremely unlikely, because one, her pregnancy is probably going to finish around Royal Rumble time-ish.
Do we need a
preggo
woman?
And then she's also apparently getting married. Her fiancé proposed, and...
You know what's going to happen, though? Karma's going to come back and pronounce The Undertaker as the father of the child.
God. But this is an even more worrying one, but kind of makes sense due to the connection that they have from back in the day. Official Curtis and Roy says they think it's going to be Jericho and China.
Oh, that could be another...
We're going to get another night.
I extremely doubt that China is going to be in there after her exploits.
Yeah. I agree.
If you don't know what I mean...
I guess we won't get another night in her.
If you don't know what I mean by exploits, this pretty much sums it up.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't see that. In response to this, S versus R 2011 says, if it's two people, it can't be China and Jericho, or possibly Taker and Michelle McCool. Then Stacy and Tamina and Kong, hell no. This promo is for people with meaning, and have made and earned respect in WWE, not lost it. I don't think Kong's lost respect. Oh, you know, she went off to have a baby. Tamina hasn't lost respect because she's still in the company. And Stacy Keibler, who I did put out there, I think he's on her plate with fucking George Clooney. In all honesty. Oh, now this is weird. In the video, I decided to go in depth into the numbers of the ages of the channels, and I came up with some weird things saying, the average of it is 41, nearly 41, and Jericho is 40, just turned 41. But Sean 0909007, so he's clearly a James Bond fan, or that was just the name he decided to come up with, mentions that some interesting facts here. That the age must mean something, otherwise it would be the same for every video. Now the one for it begins was 43, and they say here that's the amount of different holders of a WWE title, and that's individual people, not reigns. 43 people have held the WWE title since its inception in the 60s. Second Power 2012 had an age of 22, which is the amount of titles Jericho has won in the WWE, which doesn't include the defunct European and Hardcore titles. Look Within was 28, that's WrestleMania 28, and Control 2012 was 70, and as I mentioned in the video, Jericho's date of birth is November the 9th, 1970. So is that possible, Rick, Andy, do you think that's a believable idea?
Yeah, I can't see why not. I mean, there's been a lot of people, and we had a look the other night, been a lot of people that have been saying that the cryptic clues are messages from Fozzie's lyrics, and we had a look, and
yes,
there is some comparisons.
There was one I think you found which was mentioned Crossroads, which I believed appeared in either the second or the third promo.
Yeah, the child when he was on the swing said something about Crossroads, and it features quite heavily in a lot of, not just one song, but quite a few songs that Fozzie have sang.
Rick?
Yeah, it's very possible, but I've never really heard any Fozzie songs from strictly from what I read, it is possible.
Yeah. Chris, you got any thoughts on it?
I haven't heard any Fozzie songs either, but I do think that I do know this. The way that Memphis is promoting Raw on the 2nd, it's going to be epic.
Chris made it aware.
That's all I'm saying.
Chris made it. I don't know if it was before last week's show.
I think it was.
Or after. But I might as well say it again. According to the venue is it Milwaukee?
No, Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis. According to the venue in Memphis, it says on the actual thing Jericho returns. So possibly they've spoiled it.
And some of the TV promotions as well.
Yeah.
That's the only spoiler that we may be giving out.
Yeah. But the female, as it says, could be a manager or a lover. Maybe a female from NXT or Stephanie or someone in the current roster.
Let's hope it's not someone from NXT.
Well, you got somebody that deserves a push that hasn't had anything since they won NXT, Caitlyn.
But NXT is, if the way they're promoting it, if it's someone from NXT, it's going to be just WWE's way of picking up the balls.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Think of it right now. If it is Jericho, and it is a past lover from NXT, who from NXT does Jericho really have any kind of ties with in the ring?
Wade Barrett.
So he managed Wade Barrett. That's all there is. To be honest.
Guess what? And Wade, all right, yeah, but a female.
Caitlyn.
He has ties with Caitlyn.
Well, rumours. I mean, I know he's married, but rumours were around the locker room when Caitlyn was there that he was seen coming out of a hotel room quite a few times early hours of the morning.
I know these ones clear rooms, so if I hear them, they go beyond rumour and go into possible truth. So I don't know.
Well, they could put these into a storyline.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, if they want to, I don't know. So
they could even bring him back. They could even bring him back with Stephanie.
Stephanie, holy shit, look at the past that they have.
Exactly.
Triple H, COO.
Remember WrestleMania 18? She was in Jericho's corner when Triple H beat Jericho to get the WWE, the Undisputed title. But this is interesting as well. I don't know whether this is a fair point or not, but Jigsaw 86 2009 says, I really don't think the she is very important. All the promo really mentions that she will be the one to call him, so it could really be anyone. I'm still thinking it's going to be Jericho, and I only think they included this to make people think it's going to be somebody else like Shane or Steph. But then Cutting Edge, with 3 to replace the last E, says the she is important. She controls him. The Beast, possibly Brodus Clay. I doubt, well, if they're doing all this to promote Brodus Clay, I think that could be an anticlimax, to be honest.
Oh no, I've just had a terrible thought.
The beginning and the end of the world as you know it. If you watch Brodus Clay's beginning and the end promo, and also watch his speech he gave when he was eliminated from NXT, oh god. Is this how they're building Brodus Clay? If it is, oh god. What's the terrible thought then, Andy?
I can't think what his name is now. Who's that? Oh god, what is his name? That big coloured guy that had the crush on Lillian Garcia, because Lillian's back.
I think a lot of guys did.
But then if it's Lillian, she's on SmackDown, not Raw.
Yeah, but I think she will.
Unless she suddenly appears and, you know, introduces him.
I can't think what the big guy's name was.
Big Dick Johnson?
No, it was coloured guy that she supposedly had a bit of a fling with in and out the ring. All storyline, but he proposed to her in the ring. And I don't think what his name is.
I'll look that up.
The final comment to mention from the videos, from the video is the Lois 93, L-U-Y-S, that is. Lois, how do you pronounce it? Lois 93, the Lois 93, sorry. Said, I noticed in every video, there's a
Viscera, V-I-S-C-E-R-A.
Viscera. Yeah.
Viscera. He used to be called
don't bring
Mabel.
back Big Daddy V, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. Called Mabel.
I don't think this is him. Nah.
Loves 93 mentions that I notice in every video there's a ball involved, and just before the boy says she holds the in the hands. Of course, it's a basketball, so this person then says perhaps it's MVP. And then basically in reply, it says, if it was MVP, it'd be a huge letdown as he's horrible. And to be honest, to kind of ruin the rumour there, I doubt it's going to be MVP. He's perfectly happy where he is in Japan at the minute.
Yeah. I think this...
Having
I think
good
there's
matches
too many
as well in Japan, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Eating sushi.
Cocky licky.
I'm sorry guys to interrupt. That's another thing that gets me mad about WWE right now. How they say, oh, we should bring Brodus Clay in the US of A, but aren't they already in the US of A and they still haven't brought him out yet? Like, that gets me so mad.
Oh, perhaps they're waiting until they go to Canada. Or whatever. I don't know. Blame Canada, that's all I say.
I really think
people everything.
I really think we're looking too far into these cryptic clued videos, and at the end of the day, it's going to be like the Raw General Manager. Did we find out who he was? No. They'll keep us going because they know what's the biggest talk at the moment. Who's coming back? What's going to happen? How do we know anything is going to happen? All we're doing is talking about WWE. Week in, week out, we're talking about WWE because they are putting these promos on, and you know what normally happens with WWE promos? They build you up to a crescendo and take the ride from under you. So I don't think we're ever going to find out what's going on. I just think they'll drop it.
Yeah, like that is so true.
Like they dropped CM Punk. They built the storyline with CM Punk and then took the ball off him. They told him to run with the ball, and as he started to run, they took the ball away. And the storyline died. And I think they're doing exactly the same now. I don't think anyone is coming back that we don't already know about.
Well, yeah, some interesting comments from Ministry. Apparently Jericho responded on Twitter to reports of return with him feuding with CM Punk and called it bogus, weak journalism. And then Ministry's worked it out. It's Big Dick Johnson.
I see it like this. I would be disappointed if it is Chris Jericho, because I mean I was never into him. I never liked him. So I mean I would just be like, really, all this for this? Like, really?
It would be a big return.
I'm a big Jericho fan, so I would be.
He's a Jericho-holic.
Yeah.
I am a Jericho-holic.
I could tell, but...
Is there anything wrong when it does look as though the finger's pointing at either Stephanie and Shane or Chris Jericho, but it keeps mentioning the second coming. This is about the fifth comeback that Chris Jericho will have made, so it's hardly the second coming.
The interesting comment to make, though, the last one from you, I can't remember the user, but it's been pretty much shown in all the comments. Who cares who it actually is? This is getting people interested in wrestling again.
True.
They're using the Rock effect to get people watching again, and then when they have the Rock on, they suddenly start. Because when the Rock came back to Raw and Raw got rocked and all that, that was the first night that they debuted the It Begins promo via the fuzzy link.
Whoa. No, stop right there. I don't know who the hell wrote that article, but I don't agree with that at all. First off, Dwayne needs to go back to fucking Hollywood.
No. I'm not saying it's Dwayne.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing.
People who used to be wrestling fans, who fell out of favour, that come back for The Rock, come to see the Raw, and then all of a sudden they see this cryptic promo thing, which keeps them hooked in to see what this cryptic promo thing means. And then if it is somebody like Jericho, who's, again, somebody that people who used to be fans 10 years ago will recognise, it'll get more and more back in, because I honestly think this is all a big, huge build-up to possibly getting the audience as high as possible for WrestleMania.
I see your point, but there's nothing tangible here. It's only a 45-second, maybe even a 90-second promo. It's not like this person's, is there throughout the week, throughout the show. After that promo's gone. It's pretty cool, but until that person starts coming in and wrestling, it's,
Well, arguably, it happened with Undertaker. When the 221-11 got blurted out, people started watching again because they wanted to see, because they liked the way the cryptic promo for the 221-11 went. Because, there was the people out there that thought it was Sting, and then God knows what. I can't even... What's an anagram of control? Somebody was saying It Begins as an anagram of IB Sting. Somebody try and work out an anagram of control, please. Let's try and make it, Ultimate Warrior. I don't know. Also,
the only problem is... Oh, sorry. The only problem is, when you think about it, Ashley, is if they're going to bring somebody back, it's going to have to be somebody that's only been away for 3 or 4 years, because you know how fickle the wrestling fans are. When Kevin Nash came back, it was like, who's he?
Somebody that's in relative back of the mind for most of the kids. Then again, they did
most of the kids. When Kevin Nash came back, the kids were
then
like,
again, they did it with Nash. They did it with Nash and Foley.
Well, hold on. Nash has not been away. Nash has been over in TNA wrestling every other week.
Yeah, but that's different.
Nothing wrong with that. Nash has been different company. What, you think the kids don't watch TNA? My nephew watches TNA and WWE.
Well, when you look at the figures that Raw gets 3s and Impact gets 1s, that's only a third. 1 in 3 is still a fair hefty amount. But that means 2 out of your 3 are watching Raw but not watching...
I don't watch TNA. I'm gonna admit it. I don't watch that. I don't watch TNA.
TNA is not everybody's cup of tea because, you know, most people see it as a different thing. Anyway, we got another caller on the line from the 337 area code, so it could be anybody. Caller? Caller from the 337. Is it Billy?
Yeah, it's Louisiana.
Is it Jordan?
Yeah, it might be my number.
It might.
No shit. I thought it was Santa Claus.
To the show.
I just go through a list of names. Yeah, it might be me. Yeah. Right, Jordan, what's your take on all this cryptic promo malarkey?
It's going to get wild, and we're not going to know who it is until the night's over.
That's the thing. Are they gonna basically at the start of the show, or the end of the show, or middle of the show?
It's going to be at the end of the show. I mean,
yeah, they'll drag it out right to the end.
Yeah, because they did the same with Kane. They've done it with others before. You know, back when John Cena made his return after Survivor Series, they waited till the end. So it's going to be at the end of the show.
They did it with Jericho, of course, the first time.
Yeah, so. And it's basically to keep people tuned into the show. But then with the
2007 one, that code thing, people actually worked out. This one, they've left it so cryptic, it's like, yeah, it could be him, but could be Ultimate Warrior. You never know.
I'd like to see the Ultimate Warrior.
We're gonna be really shocked. We're gonna be really shocked when it comes to that day, because we're probably mentioning all these different names, and at the end of the day, it's probably somebody that we didn't even think of, you know? That's how I see it.
If it's The Rock, I'm going to be pissed.
I'm going to be pissed if it's The Rock, and most likely it is, because, listen, if you really think about it, he hasn't made, the only time he does it is through videos, and he hasn't done a video in a minute, and then it comes in 2012, and when is that? April 1st. April 1st he's going to fight. Like, if you really think about it.
Hey, Ash.
Yes.
And this just popped into my head. It could very well be JBL. Even though I know it's not, but JBL is being more.
To correct you there, I've been following JBL on Facebook, and because I don't have Twitter, but basically it's the same thing. And his messages on Facebook says
he's also doing YouTube videos as well.
Wouldn't mind going back, but not now, because he's too happy with doing everything that he's doing currently in Bermuda.
Losing billions on oil.
No, apparently he's behind some pop or some ginger beer or something that's made in the Caribbean.
Oh,
that sells quite well.
God.
Hey, if he's happy there and he's making money and whatever. I mean, hell, apparently a few months ago he actually went over to meet Tony Blair in London. Don't know why. Did. But
yes,
anyway.
did.
I don't know what it was about, actually.
He got confused when he heard that his wife was called Sherry. He thought he'd invited him over for a sherry.
Ministry is saying, when did you turn up? You're late. I've been in the chat room all along, and I've been hosting this since 36 minutes ago. And speaking of that, that's the YouTube bit over and done with. But if you are watching this on YouTube, you know, you may have already given your thoughts on the last video, but we've talked about some new things on here. So put your comments in the comment section, wherever it may be on the website. I want to be confusing. I want to be confusing and put it on the right or something rather than below. Just piss over people's minds and whatever.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, why are you watching it on YouTube, you saddo? It's a radio show.
Yeah! You gotta be in here live, and then you get your opinions read out on the air.
By the way, it ain't The Rock in the Cryptic promo, because he's gone to juggle his nuggets with Mae Young.
No, that's actually part of a news story.
To listen to the entire show, click on the link in the description box.
This is Scott Phoenix, and you're listening to WGS Radio, Block Talk Radio.